I think there's probably two really key issues in play. Firstly is the rate of change in the organisations that we work in and the rate of change in the environment around us. What people see as firm or certain today is gone tomorrow, and so that constant change erodes trust. Second issue, I think, is then it erodes people's view of your genuineness and whether they can really believe what you want to do. So really a key for us to, as leaders, is to work at building that trust with our employees, to spend time with them, to get to know them, admit our mistakes, praise them when they do well, but also encourage our leaders across the organisation to do it.
So as a procurement leader, what I've tried to do is say to employees, it's really important that you understand what you want to do, and I'm here to support you in that quest. And I try to volunteer the fact that even if you are interested in doing something elsewhere in the company or even elsewhere in your career, please do use me as a person that can provide you guidance and help you along the way.
As a manager, I need to demonstrate to my staff that I'm not afraid of them leaving the organisation. I want to develop them, I want them to improve themselves, and through their own self-improvement, they're going to help me as a manager. They're also going to help the business grow as well. So for a manager, a true leader, it's about taking away the fear that your people are going to leave and trust that they're going to stay, but also accept the fact that eventually they are going to move on at some point in the future as well.
From my perspective, we've put in place some tools, specifically something that we call career ladders, that evaluates and gives feedback to our people as they roll through the organization to each level. So it provides them with substantive feedback on their skills, their capabilities, areas to continue to work on to improve inside of that, and gives them some sense of progress as they move through our organization.
Fantastic leaders encourage open and honest conversation, have a genuine interest in their team. So I feel that if procurement managers could take that step, if they could actually have open, honest conversations, be genuinely interested in what their team members are doing and what their motivators are, and actually put clear succession plans in place, you'll then naturally just build trust.
But I think the main thing is to expose employees to opportunities. The more exposure that they have, I think that allows them to develop a trust and a collaborative relationship with their boss.
Relying on your boss for your career development, I think, is a good wish, but a pretty old-fashioned idea. I don't think you can actually delegate that responsibility. You need to take ownership of your own career and develop that.
I'm not surprised by the facts. I think if you think about over the last 10, 15 years, we've asked associates to manage their own careers. And as a result of that, I think we've seen more and more going on the outside to find peers, find mentors to help them.
For me, trust comes down to four things. It comes down to the boss's ability so how reliable are they? So do they do what they say they're going to do? How competent are they? How much do they care about my career? And how does the communication go? So how is that conversation going that allows me and my boss to manage expectations?
I think that discussion with an employee at the hiring process and just understanding where they're at, what are they trying to achieve, and how can I help them get there, and how can I help me to be able to achieve my goals and objectives for my company together as a team.
Leaders, tend to get sucked into a vacuum of the day-to-day grind and the roles and responsibilities and the pressures that they get from their leadership. So sometimes I think that might have a direct effect on the way they interact with the folks that report up to them. How can they adjust, or how can they prioritize fixing some of these the lack of the gap there. I think part of it, of course, the traditional buzzword communication.
Yeah, so in the world of procurement specifically, unfortunately, I think the younger generation of employees looks at their more senior professionals as dinosaurs. They tend not to view them as understanding technology. They tend not to view them as understanding career paths. And so, more senior professionals need to proactively address that. They need to engage the younger employees in technology conversations. They need to engage them in career pathing discussions to establish that trust.
I find that to be most effective when we give ongoing feedback to our employees and really just take a genuine interest in their success. And so I think as leaders, we need to sort of take on the role of mentor, even though we may not have received an explicit invitation to be a mentor, and to really be there for them and guide them and help them along their way.